I'm going to do this one a little weird. Julie, well, come up, Julie. Everybody give it up for Julie Riley. Wow, fan club. I'll go back so they can play your music. I'm just kidding, you're fine, come on. You know, all of us have friends, we have connections, but then you also have people who become family. And to me, Julie's like a little sister. And we have great times together, but we also pick on each other like nobody's business. But she's about to speak to you guys about live streaming. She's a social media manager at StreamYard. She runs a community of 27,000 people, and she is like absolutely amazing at what she does. Before she gets started, this is just because I want you guys to be able to see everything. I brought this for her. Julie Riley.
Well, I'm not going to stand on that because I will hurt myself. So I want to know how many of you have watched live videos from somebody and really felt a connection with that person that you were watching? And how many of you have done a live video and seen people coming back time and time again? You've seen the same people commenting in the comments and feeling that they have a connection with you. So we're going to go through and talk about mastering the art of live video because I want you to build a community with this. I'm Julie Riley, as Chad said. I am a wife to my wonderful husband. We'll have been married 15 years this August. Our son, Jet Li, who is a black belt in karate. He lived up to his name. Major Chiefs fans. I know there's at least one in this house somewhere, and he's not even in here watching right now. Oh, Jordan, he's in trouble. And I work for StreamYard. I am their social media manager, community manager, and affiliate manager. I wear all the hats. I have been in live streaming for about 10 years now. The early days of live streaming is when I got started. And I got started in digital marketing about 15 years ago. So I have kind of seen it all. I've seen the transition and the growth of what this has all done, and I've loved getting to be a part of this. And I've loved getting to see all of the technology that's come out that's made this easier for all of you out here to pick it up and do it yourself. So live video is the most powerful way to connect with your audience and build loyalty. Love or hate Gary Vaynerchuk, that quote there is so true and so powerful because it is. You can build that connection. You can build that community piece. I want to break down defining your community for you. And I'm going to break it down into two areas, your micro communities and your macro communities. In this instance, your micro community is a Facebook group, a Discord channel, a LinkedIn group, somewhere that somebody had to request to join, you had to give them access, they had to have the link, they had to know how to get in there. It's a smaller space generally. Even 27,000 members is still a smaller space compared to our public community space. And then your public community space, which is your YouTube channel, your Facebook page, anywhere that you are putting content out and people are engaging with you in that space. That is your macro community space. Because yes, those people who are interacting on your pages, those are your community members. So we want to build and nurture those community members that are interacting with you in that space, and we want to then be able to pull them into your micro community spaces to where now you can really nurture them and build them beyond just being somebody who shows up on your page. So we're going to talk about the importance and popularity of live video in the digital era. We're going to go through that piece before we get into the community piece, because that is what we're building this community on, is on your live videos. The beauty of live video is the power of real-time interaction. When you are live, you can ask people in your viewership questions. They can ask you questions. You can engage with them. You can sit here and have a conversation. Somebody, while I'm live, might ask me a question, and I can pull their question up on the screen, and I can answer it. And so we're having a two-way, real-time interaction. It's not just a recorded video that I have to remember to come back and monitor the comments on. And those have a place too. But that real-time interaction is huge. So you get to engage, you get to connect with that audience. Your audience becomes loyal and real. They're there for you. I love live video because it's raw and unscripted. Now I say unscripted, that doesn't mean unplanned. That means that you are not reading from a teleprompter. You don't have a piece of paper in front of you going, "Hi, I'm Julie Riley. Today we are going to talk." You are not polished, edited, you are in the reel. You might flub through a word. You might forget what you were gonna say and be like, "Oh my gosh, that totally derailed. Hold on, I'll get back to it." Because it's in that real-time moment. And that makes it so powerful because we're all human. And I know Brian is here somewhere, and he has talked for many years about perfection being a fairy tale. And it is. Perfection doesn't exist. And that's what we get when we get live videos. We get the real, true you. You get your audience to know, like, and trust you. Marketing 101. I feel like that's like anybody who went to college in marketing, that's like your first thing you learn is get them to know, like, and trust you. But it's true, and they do when they're coming to your live videos. They get that connection. And with that, you're building your loyal community. Now, I like some good stats, and I've got some more coming later. But 73% of consumers state that they're more likely to make a purchase after watching a video. 73% are more likely to make a purchase after watching a video. How many of you have watched a video and then gone and made the purchase? Or you were wondering about something you should purchase and you went and watched a video about it before you did it? Exactly. I bought a car a couple years ago. I watched probably 20 YouTube videos on this car before I went and bought it. The car didn't even exist in the US yet, so I was watching Korean videos. But I watched them. I wanted to know what I was getting. Affordability. Okay, I know Mark asked a question about iPhones here. Does anybody in here not have a smartphone? Okay, I've had one person one time ask that question, say yes, and I was like, well, okay, everybody but that guy. Doesn't count. You have everything you need to go live, to get started, in your pocket, in your purse, wherever you keep your video, on the table in front of you. That's all you need. Now, can you get better equipment? Can you build more up over time? Get the fancy camera, get the fancy microphone? Absolutely. I built my studio out over time, though. I didn't wake up one day and go, I want to do live video, and I'm going to drop $3,000 today on all the equipment. I've never done it before, but I need the equipment before I can do it. You don't need the equipment, you already have it. So don't let that hang up stop you from getting started, because you have it, and it will work with native platforms, with a tool. If you're using a tool that will allow you to go live, you can use the phone. You can get a cheap lavalier mic from Amazon for $15, plug it in, and now you got a mic. And then over time, you can start to add more pieces to that. Time. Does anybody sit around at home and go, I'm bored, I don't have anything to do, I got all this free time? Yeah, I don't either. I've got a kid, a husband, a job, hobbies, other things I want to do, and I don't want to have to spend all of my time creating my work. So one of the things I love about live video is that it allows you to take one piece of content, and now you can make lots of content out of it. You can chop it down into TikToks, shorts, reels. You can take a transcript of it, make a blog out of it, embed the video into the blog. You can turn it into a podcast. You have all of these pieces of content that you can take off of this one video, and all of those are going to strengthen your community because they're all going to be interacting in different various formats. Some people are visual, and they want to see the video. Some are more auditory, and they're going to want to hear that podcast, and some just need to read to retain that information. So you get all of those pieces that you can now hit everybody. We already said you're getting that real-time interaction, and you get the simultaneous reach. With tools like StreamYard or others that exist out there, they shall not be named, you can multi-stream. And what that means is you can go to Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, all of the places, all at one time. So now you can broaden your community reach. And you can go, I'm going to get my community expanded. My initial community might be mostly on Facebook, but I want to build my community beyond that. I want to reach business members. So I'm going to start building over on LinkedIn and working on a community space over there. Okay, here's where I said I love a good stat, because the data backs it up. You guys heard Bree talk about the data earlier, and the data really backs things up. It backs up what you're doing. So 80% of consumers prefer watching a live video to reading a blog. Does that mean you should not ever do blogs and you should put your focus into live video only? Absolutely not. But that's where I said now you can take that video and make it into a blog. Your blog is still going to help your SEO. It's still going to strengthen your brand. You need both. But know that 80% of consumers would rather sit and watch that live video. They're going to get it in that real time and feel that connection. 82% prefer live video from a brand to their social posts. I'm a social media manager. I spend my days writing social posts. So I look at that stat and go, eek, what am I doing? But yes, my social posts are still important. What's beautiful about live video is the more people interact with their live video, the more your social posts are going to show up in their feed. You're going to get more out of them and get it all put together. 35% of marketers who use video saw a revenue increase of 20% year over year. Does anybody not like making money? No? I mean, I like making money. I don't know about you. I like being able to get things for my family. I like being able to say I can get a new car, all those things. So having that revenue increase is important. If we aren't growing and increasing, then eventually we will go out of business. So we don't want that to happen. We want that increase. 78% of those who use the internet watch Facebook Live videos. Now, I want you to think about that for a minute. 78% of the internet. Y'all, the internet's a big, big place. There's a lot of people out there on the internet. So if 78% of those people are watching Facebook Live videos, this is a place to be building a community, building your audience, and pulling them in for you. Okay, we're going to go through some strategies for building that loyal online community. So number one is consistency. How many of you have watched a show and you know that that person goes live every Sunday at 8 p.m., and you know that they're going to be going live again the next Sunday at 8 p.m., and you might be busy that next Sunday and miss it, but you know that's okay because they're going to be live again the following week, Sunday at 8 p.m. But you have another show that you watched and you really liked what they had to say, and they're like, and make sure you tune in next time. And you come back that next Sunday at 8 p.m. and they're not live, and you're like, well, when was next time? And it turns out that next time was Tuesday at 10 a.m., and the time after that was Friday at 2 p.m., and they just randomly go live. And there's nothing wrong with having some randomity here and there, but if you are trying to build that community and trying to build that followership that is going to be coming back over and over, you have to have that consistency in there. They have to know when and where to find you. Schedule and promote. Now, obviously, I use StreamYard. I might get fired if I didn't, but tools like that one allow you to pre-schedule your lives out. And by pre-scheduling it out, you've now announced to your audience, hey, I told you I go live Sunday at 8 p.m., and guess what? I've scheduled my next live for next Sunday at 8 p.m. So on Facebook, you can hit that get reminder button. On YouTube, you can hit the little bell to subscribe and get that reminder. So you might have gotten busy, but then you get that notification that goes, hey, Julie's going live. Oh, that's right, I did want to watch that. she has a guest coming on that I wanted to make sure I tuned into because I got that reminder about it. So that scheduling and that promoting is going to help pull that community in and help those people become a part of it. Obviously, StreamYard, I mean, come on now. Like, I could not put it in there. But like I said, if we're not the right one for you, that's okay because there's others out there. Investigate, inspect, decide what is right for you. But what is great about a tool like this one is it allows you to build in that professional branding. It allows you to add in your brand colors, a logo, an overlay. But more importantly, my favorite piece about it is the ability to bring the comments on the screen. If I go live native on Facebook and somebody comments, I can be like, well, Chad down there in the comments had to say this, and then I have to read it out loud, and then somebody else that may have scrolled by, or if the comments are scrolling fast, I've missed it. With a tool like StreamYard, you can pull those comments up on the screen, and now your audience is looking at it and going, they pulled my comment up on the screen. They saw what I had to say. I asked a question, and they engaged with my question, and now they're answering it in real time. Makes them feel seen and heard. They love that. And your audience will love being able to also see that question appear there because you might have started answering the question and somebody forgot what was even asked. How many of you have done that? You've heard somebody answering something and you're like, I don't even know what they're answering anymore. I know I have. And you're like, shoot, what were they talking about? So, but you can pull those up. Value. Okay, anytime you go live, you need to think about what value are you bringing to your audience. You don't just go live and go, well, guys, I know I said I go live Sunday at 8 p.m., so I'm here. I don't know what we're talking about tonight. Anybody got anything they want to talk about? Somebody throw something in the comments. What do you want to talk about tonight? You have to bring them value, or they're not going to come back. They're going to go, I don't know why I tuned in. These people are crazy. They don't know what they're talking about. They went live without a plan. You have to have the plan. So you have to bring them the value. And when you bring them the value, you're giving them a reason to keep coming back. Are you educating them about something? Are you interviewing really cool people on your show? Are you just entertaining them? It can be just an entertaining show. I've seen them all. I've seen from game shows to very strategic business shows and everything in between. But what is the value? And that value for you is what is the value that your audience, what is the value that your community wants? Not always the value that you necessarily want. You might go, well, I had this really cool planned out talk that I was going to bring to them, but that's not what my audience is interested in. You know, I've got a Star Wars audience over here, and I want to talk to them about strawberry shortcake. They're going to look at you and go, why? It's not valuable to them. So make sure you're providing the value to them. Authenticity. We've heard this word more than once today already, and it is so true. You have to be authentically you. You know, I was getting ready for this, and I was looking at what I was going to wear, and I was like, well, you know, I could get some heels and a nice dress and come up there and really be a professional presentation, and then I was like, I don't wear heels that often. Like, I don't wear heels ever. Not even that often. If I can avoid them, I do. I am jeans and a t-shirt and a pair of sneakers. That's me. And so I would not be my authentic self if I came up here trying to dress differently just for the sake of, I'm on stage and I should do this. No, that's not the authentic me. So be authentically you. You need to decide what that means, but you don't have to be a different person to your community than you are in real life because they will see through that so quickly. They will go, okay, I met them at a conference. I've been watching them for years. That and that don't match. I don't know who that was I just met, but that is not who I've been watching for years, and now I'm really confused, and now I'm disconnected. They will see the fakeness. Collaboration. I always say there is way more collaboration needed, And there is no need for the competition, because collaboration is way more valuable than the competition. But there are some really great ways you can collaborate when you are using live video and building a community. You can bring in other experts and interview them. You can have talks with them. You might have somebody in your community who is super active and is always bringing value to other community members. That's a great chance to reach out to them and go, hey, let's do a talk together. Let's have a show, and let's talk about what you can provide for the community because you're providing value to them. So you can collaborate and really bring that in. This is a great chance for the Q&As, a great chance for the interviews. So start to build that piece. Engagement. I already talked about that with StreamYard or other tools, you can bring those engagement pieces up online. But the engagement can go as far as when you start your show, telling everybody, hey, tell me where you're watching from. The beauty of the internet is you don't have to be here in Lima, Ohio to be watching my show. You can be in another country. You can be around the other side of the world. I have done shows where I've had people from Australia watching all the way over to my backyard just about, and everywhere in between. And what you get with that is you get that chance again to do those shout outs, those call outs and go, hey, Fiona from Australia, I'm so glad you're watching. That's amazing. What time is it there? Because we know they're on the other side of the world, and that's like a whole different day half the time. You can build that out where you can start to build that engagement, and those people are going to go, they heard me, they saw me, they felt what I had to say, and I want to come back. And then I love this one. When they come again, you can go, Brian, it's so good to see you watching again. I'm glad you're back. And they're going to go, they noticed that I watched before and commented, and now they notice that I'm here again. Wow, that's awesome. And I really love when you have somebody who's a regular, and then you haven't seen them, and you can go, Owen, where have you been? I haven't seen you in the comments. Why haven't you been watching? And they get a chance to go, oh, I've just been busy, like work has been crazy, but I got to tune in this week. I'm so excited I got to catch it. And you're like, thank you for being here. Because they're going to go, wow, I was seen, I was heard, I was recognized. They noticed me. I feel like I'm a part of their community. I want to come back and watch that show again. Loyalty. We want to recognize your loyal community members. You can do this by giving shout outs during your stream. So we kind of talked about some of that in the last slide. I jumped ahead on my own self. You can also do things that you can recognize your loyal members. You can do a giveaway. If you had a book, you can be like, hey, we're going to do a giveaway today on a book, or I want to give away a 30-minute coaching session, whatever it is, but you can start to build that out with that loyalty by recognizing the people who are coming and showing up for you. Exclusivity. Okay, here's where you can start to now pull in this macro audience that you have all across the board and bring them into your micro audience. You can say, hey, do you know that on Tuesdays at 10 a.m., I do an exclusive training, but you have to be a member of my community in order to get it. This might be a free community, might be a paid community, whatever it is that you have, but you're inviting them to pull in to that community space where you're providing exclusive content just for being a part of that micro community. And you're going, guys, I know I got an amazing, amazing macro community. All of you out here watching everywhere. But I want you to join my group. I want you to get the extras. So here's the link. Here's where you sign up. Here's where you give them the registration. Okay, follow through. I heard somebody else earlier this morning talk about following through on things. I think maybe Mark in the last talk. You want to follow through on what it is you say you're going to do. Now, that's a very broad statement. The follow through comes through in a lot of ways with community. It's going to come through with, if you said you're going to send them a link, send them a link. If you said, I'm going to, hey, drop the PDF files in my community after this, go drop the PDF files. Don't forget to do it. It's very frustrating when somebody posts something and says, hey, I've got this new strategy. Does anybody want it? And you type yes, and then you never get the strategy that you asked for. And you're like, I asked for this. Why didn't I get it? So make sure that you're following through. That also means you're going to get replay viewers, and you want to follow through with those replay viewers when they're commenting. They are still your community, even if they're not watching live. So comment back, engage back with those replay viewers. All right, we're gonna go through this one. We got some tips for a successful live stream that are gonna help pull this all together to build this community. So the first is, before you even go live, you need to define your goals. Why are you going live? What are you talking about? Who are you talking to? Are you trying to build your macro community to funnel into your micro community? Are you trying to educate them? What is it that you're trying to do? What are your goals? Choose the platform for your needs. StreamYard. Plan your content. Okay, I said don't script it, but have a plan. You can have bullet points. I sometimes will put them on a sheet of paper next to me if I've got things I need to make sure that I cover during that live, or I'll put them in another tab and flip over to that other tab while I'm live. If I'm interviewing a guest, I might have questions that I know I want to ask that guest, and I need to make sure that those are in there. So make sure that you have your plan. Prepare your branded assets to include in there. Are you going to have a thumbnail? Are you pre-promoting? Are you going to run a story beforehand to let people know that you're going live? Prepare all of those. Schedule and promote your stream, and test your equipment. Restart your computer. Make sure your router has been restarted if you need to. Test your equipment. There's nothing worse than hitting the go live button and your mic isn't working, your audio isn't working, your camera flipped out. Make sure you test your equipment. Start on time. And starting on time is not just hitting the go live button on time, but have you ever watched a live show and somebody goes, "Hey guys, so I'm Julie. We're gonna wait until we get some more people on. We'll hang tight a minute." You've done checked out. You're like, I don't have time to wait for people to get on. If you're watching the replay, you've checked out. You've lost your whole audience at that point. They don't want to watch anymore. So start on time. Get in and get straight into it. Deliver your valuable content. Engage with your audience, obviously. We've said that one more than once, but that is so important and so vital to this. Use your call to action. Are you bringing them into that micro community? Are you selling them a course? Whatever it is, are you just asking them to come back next week? Use your call to action at the end. Look at the camera. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be like, okay, I am looking at the camera and nowhere else. I am staring. Look at the camera. But, if you have notes next to you, if you're looking at the comments on the screen, but don't be looking like down at your keyboard or down at a weird spot, and test out where you're looking at the camera means for you. For me, it actually means I look just below my camera and my camera picks it up as looking straight ahead. So I had to test that to figure that out. And have fun. Nobody wants to watch a live show where you're sitting there going, "I'm Julie, and today we are going to talk about mastering strategies for building a community." And you sound like you're pulling teeth, you sound like you're miserable. It's not fun, and people are going to bounce. They're going to want nothing to do with it. So make sure you're having fun. After the stream, express your gratitude, engage with your replay viewers, go back, comment back on those that have commented back to you, answer any questions if somebody had a question. And when you're in your stream, acknowledge them and let them know, hey, if you're here watching the replay, throw a question in the comments if you got it. I'll be back. I'll answer it. I use a tool like Agorapulse for monitoring all of my comments, and it makes it so easy. If you've been here before, you've seen them here. But it simplifies my time and my life with making sure I'm managing all of that. Repurpose that content. Don't make the one piece of content and then go, okay, that was cool. Awesome. Let's get on to the next one. I guess there's something I could do with it. Repurpose it. Utilize it. Make the most out of the time you have. Cut it up into shorts. Cut it up into reels. Throw it in a blog. And if you need help with that, outsource that. Grab a VA and be like, hey, here's my live. Let's work out a strategy for how we're going to repurpose this content afterwards. Especially if you've got like an hour-long live, that can get harder to repurpose all that down. But make sure you're utilizing the right people that can help you with that. And analyze your performance. So here's a code. If you want to try StreamYard, you can scan that code. It will give you 30 days free. If you don't get a chance to scan it here, then you can also go to streamyard.com/SMWL, Social Media Week Lima, and that will give you 30 days of it for free. You can also ask me any questions anytime. I'm doing a table talk tomorrow on live video, and I'll be happy to answer live video specific questions or StreamYard questions. And Fiona tomorrow is doing one on community, so go sit with her tomorrow if you have more questions on the community side of it. And if you want to contact me, you can scan the code, or it's as simple as julie@streamyard.com, or on all of the socials. I am at SocialJulesICT. It's the Wichita Airport code. We have a thing there that it's like the ATL where they say it all the time. We use our airport code in a lot of things, and that became my social handle years ago, and now I'm kind of stuck with it because it's way too hard to change. So that is all I have for you. I want to thank you all. I want you to go emerge into your space, emerge online, and build your communities. Thank you.